Hey everybody, my next guest is a Long Island comedian and co-host of the See You Next Tuesday podcast. Here she is, the one and only Emily Santosus. Emily, how you doing?
Not bad. How are you?
Good, good. I haven't had you on the show in a while. It's been like 3 years, like since COVID.
I think it might have been pre-COVID or right. I think maybe it was during.
Yeah, it might have been like just as we just started entering into the COVID.
You had mentioned that I'm on the See You Next Tuesday podcast, and I was just wondering if you know how we came up with that name.
I assume the acronym CUNT, right? So is that a part of it? Tell me, take me through it.
It might be that we film it on Tuesdays, but nobody ever goes to that. Everybody assumes, because everybody at heart, we're just wretched human beings, that we just like the word cunt, but maybe we just film it on Tuesdays. But you didn't think that, did you?
Wow. So I just jumped. I'm another statistic. I'm another stat. And
we all are. We all are. But, me and Kathy and Carla, we're good, kind-hearted, sweet, innocent little souls.
Yes.
We figured, we could have called it, we could have filmed it on Thursday and called it See You Next Thursday. And, wouldn't be much of a difference now, would it?
That's a great point. It could have been the same exact thing. But I bet you if you did it on Thursday and it was See You Next Thursday, no one would have thought, no one would have saw that. Why is that? That's so weird.
I don't know. It's a C, it's a U, it's an N, it's a T. I mean, it's just letters.
Right.
They're arranged in the same order.
Yeah. That's a great point. I think that says something. Yeah. I think no one would have thought about the cunt acronym and put that together had it been on Thursdays.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe that's, we are. I would say we're an R-rated podcast. I mean, if we were on Thursdays, maybe we could squeak a PG rating.
It's all about what day of the week. But I love your show. I love the chemistry between the three of you. It was originally you and Kathy Arnold, and then Carla, the great Carla Okerson, kind of joined in. I love what you ladies are doing on there. Take me through it. So it's a podcast. Basically, you guys just
talk shit for an hour every Tuesday.
And it's always interesting.
Oh, hey.
Welcome to another episode of See You Next Tuesday.
Hide the body. Hide the body.
You weren't eating munchkins? You would never. Why would we do such a thing?
A little bit,
is not a... we don't... Oh, I don't know if I should admit this. Fuck it. We don't plan.
Yes.
We go in and something happened to one of us because, what are the odds, right? And then we just go. Like this Tuesday, if you watched, Carla got into a fight with an entire deli. And that was fun. And then, just random stuff. But I don't know. We just kind of like the spontaneity of not going in with a plan. And usually it works out. And sometimes there are some episodes that we should throw in a dustbin, I think. A couple.
But I never see any lulls. You guys always keep it going. You keep it carrying it on. Like, the conversation is always flowing.
Except when I was shoving my fucking fat face full of ice cream cake on our 1-year anniversary.
That looked like fun.
I had 3 pieces. I was a fatty that day. I really was.
But you talk about, See You Next Tuesday and a lot of the subjects that you guys talk about on there. And do you feel like now we're like the state of the world, everyone is just offended on both sides, whether you're a right-wing religious person or if you're a super woke leftist person? Don't you feel like everyone's offended about something?
Well, yeah, before I get to that, and you forgive me for being so stupid, but I thought that was your actual room until your left arm disappeared.
Yes, this is...
it just disappeared.
There, it's gone now. This is the background. I wish this was my real room. This is the background.
You on your huge shark.
Yeah, I got a giant shark. This is the set of Wayne's World from the SNL. And
I should know this because when the movie came out, my friends and I were jamming to, we didn't have a pacer, but we were jamming out to Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes. They reinvented Bohemian Rhapsody, man, with that scene in the back seat of the car.
You had people thinking that was a new song.
Yeah. They revitalized it.
Older than you.
Yeah, exactly. That song rocks. And Wayne's World, when we went into COVID, I changed the background to give an homage to like the original, podcasters or, guys working out of their basements or whatever. So I was like, all right, this is cool. I'll do this. But yeah.
So the politics thing, we tend to stay away from politics mostly. I mean, if anybody is delving into politics, it's moi, because I can't help myself. But generally try to just talk shit about other random people that we know. Although we do have a segment at the end of the show, which we call the Cunt of the Week. And it fits with the name of the show, right?
Yeah.
And usually my cunt ends up being generally Republican, usually Trump or somebody in line with him. Because since you brought it up,
yeah,
he's the single biggest worst thing that happens in this country since Facebook. And I only mean that because I don't know the guy personally.
Right.
It just listen to him. The way he talks, it's all divisive. It's all hate. It's all this person. It's all name calling. I mean, most people would listen to that guy and go, "What a douche." No, right? Like if you didn't know the guy, if you didn't know him, you'd be like, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy?"
But it's the same guy who, the same way he acted when he was on The Apprentice, everybody loved him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, and because that was entertainment. That's different. Entertainment, people like. Why do you think people watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians? I walked by, and my ex had it on the TV, and as I walked by TV, I felt some of my brain cells die.
Yeah, I never watched Kardashians either.
Because it's crap. It's crap television. Of course, they're millionaires and I'm not, so if you're doing something right. So yeah, it's entertainment, so it's cool. But then when you're like leading the free world, like Reagan was an actor. He was an actor. He was Western, right? Then he was governor, and then he became the president, and he didn't sound like an actor when he was president. He sounded, the great communicator. Didn't agree with him, but he could speak.
Do you think if Trump was let's just say you get a person that's the same beliefs as Trump, the same everything, but he was didn't talk as brash or wasn't the same person as Trump, would that ease it up for you, or is it ideology?
No, I can't agree with his policies. I don't know why he talks about transgender people, why Kamala's race isn't even an issue to discuss. I mean, why can't we get to talking about policies? If you think she sucks at the border, talk about the border. Right. I talk about is she black or she Indian? She could be a black Indian. I don't give a fuck.
I think race. I'm with you 100% on that, Emily. I think race and sex and all those types of things should be left out of it. I think those are and stick to the policies. I think we'd go a lot further as a country. Yeah. So
even if he learned how to talk, I still can back his ideals.
Right. You're not on his side.
No. So, and yeah, you're right. The government needs to stay out of what I do with my life. Worry about money, fiscal policy, the border, me out here, security, that stuff.
Right. Yes.
Crime. Worry about that. Important shit.
I think most of us are in the middle. I think most American people are in the middle. Like for me, I have a little bit of left ideology, a little bit of right ideology. I think we're all kind of like that, mix and match. I think though, but if you're
crazy on Facebook though.
Who I'm crazy on Facebook? People get I try not to show politics on my at least my regular Don Sill Facebook page. I try to never
a fake one and just post all your bad shit on that.
On some other one.
I don't. I use mine. I'm like, fuck it, why not?
Yeah. But so yeah, we are in a weird time. I think it's a great time to be alive because there is so much history that we're living through, and there's so much we're going through a transitional time period, and and I think in a way, the trans movement, speaking of transitional period, is on the forefront of this thing. It's in the news every single day. It's in the news today for the Olympics, the boxing. Did you see that?
You know that boxer's not trans, right?
So what's the story with that boxer?
She's not. I'm normally high level testosterone from what I gather, but born female, vagina, everything. Double X girl. I mean, just female, and not trans, but yet all my right-wing friends, because I have a bunch.
Right. Yeah. I know.
They're all jumping on this bandwagon, and it's atrocious, and oh my God. But like, they don't know what they're talking about. And there's a thing called confirmational bias, where if it aligns with your beliefs, you're automatically inclined to believe it.
Yes. Yeah. We see a lot of that.
If you're a right wing, and you know, with the whole Leah Thomas, the swimming thing, this story comes along automatically. It's true, and she's trans, and God forbid, and she's not trans, and I'm just going off on people, and somebody, a friend of mine, more than a friend actually, is telling me, "What are you doing? Like, why do you bother?" Because I can't let I can't let outright bullshit go unanswered. And I get in fights with people I don't know, and they can suck my dick. I don't really care.
Where do you ultimately stand on that issue as a whole? Like if it is a trans woman in women's sports?
I would say it's a gray area. I would say it's a gray area. My personal belief is I would not do physical contact sports, but I would play softball. I know a lot of women that can outrun me, out-hit me, outfield me. Totally. Right. I'm like a fucking baby deer on ice up at the fucking plate sometimes. You know what I mean? Right. Running the bases like fucking Bambi and shit. Like, so, but the science is, there is no definite biological advantage. And let's not even begin to talk about somebody who transitions prior to puberty, like taking puberty blockers and never really going through male puberty, because nobody really talks about female to male. It's always male to female, because women are strong, but they need protection. I'm still trying to figure that one out. But well, that's what they say, right? So, so if you transition prior to male puberty, or puberty in general, then there really is no distinct biological advantage. So if that boxer happened to be trans, but had not gone through puberty, they really would not have any biological advantage at all. That's a fact. That's science. After, let's take me, for example. I'm 48. 2 years ago, I couldn't run a mile without feeling winded. Yesterday, 2 days ago, I ran 10 nonstop, 8-minute miles. Wow. Because I practiced every day. I run every day. I run 6 miles a day. Every day, except one day. I take 1 day off week. So far this year, I've run over almost 1,000 miles.
That's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I conditioned myself to do so. And I know women, natural women, that can do that better than me. And I know some men that can't. Everybody and everybody is different. If you get what I mean when I say that.
Everybody, yeah.
Everybody. Because just because you're a man doesn't mean you can whip my ass.
Right.
That's why there's weight classes in boxing. You wouldn't put a 300-pound super heavyweight in with a fucking flyweight.
Right.
Right? There's weight classes because even those bodies are different. But if you put a trans boxer in who did not go through male puberty, or maybe did but transitioned early, or you could just look at the physique.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you know?
You don't know. There are people, they look at me, they don't know that I'm trans.
No, not at all. Right.
Right. So, but I'll tell you, because I don't give a shit.
I mean, how do you know if they transitioned at an earlier age versus an older age?
You wouldn't unless you asked.
Right.
You wouldn't know. I mean, look at it this way. Everybody's assuming that woman is trans, and she's not. So you don't fucking know. Nobody knows except the person who it is. Nobody knows what stage of transition that I'm in.
Right.
And it's somebody's fucking business. I say it because, again, I don't care. I'm an open book.
Right.
It's all relevant. It really is all relevant. Let people live. I gave you my opinion on it. I wouldn't box, but I would play softball, because it's fun. It's recreational. At my age, I'm not taking any help me out here, scholarships away from anybody.
Right.
I'm playing it for fun.
I think team sports is a little different. But what do you think about swimming and racing and just racing in general, and then like one-on-one kind of not so much combat, but like
I think it depends. There is that woman from it's an African country. I can't recall. Her name is Caster Semenya or something like that. And she has abnormally high levels of testosterone. She's a woman. She got banned. You know? Because
right.
there's so much talk about smack. You have people, you have adults who are tasked with the safeguarding of our children when they're in schools, on school boards, saying they want to do genital tests if somebody doesn't meet their description of what a woman should look like.
Right.
Because they're taller than most or bigger than most.
So women could get but women can get high volumes of testosterone without deliberately making it happen, like unnaturally.
You've never seen women with excessive hair growth as well?
Right, yeah, like hairy arms or even facial. Yeah.
Hirsutism, something like that. I don't know, but there's an actual term for it. So yeah, everybody's different, and we need to stop with the bullshit. It's all hateful, divisive rhetoric and bullshit, and people get hurt and killed because there's crazy motherfuckers out there. Yeah, man, you're right. We gotta go kill these bitches. You know.
Do you think some of that is like, not to sound like what do I call it, conspiracy person, but do you think some of that is deliberately added into our culture to go against, like, to just make us fight amongst each other? I mean, I feel like most people are open, but I feel like the media keeps feeding it.
Who's the most powerful country in the world?
You would like to say America, right?
No, it's probably true. I mean, China, they're building the military, but I'd say we are the only sole superpower, and we are the greatest nation. We really are. I can say that, and I can also say it might not be equally great for everybody. But if you say that, you know what I can't stand is that conservatives, they think they own patriotism. They think they own the flag. They think they own that they're real Americans. No, I am too.
Right.
So are you. So is everybody in this country who pledges allegiance to the flag. We're Americans, right? So we're the greatest nation on earth. We're the most powerful nation on earth. Doesn't it make sense that most people couldn't take us head on? Agree? Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
We put up a hell of a fight.
Yeah, we're the best army in the world.
But what if you tried to divide us from within? What if Russia, China, North Korea, what if they use an app like Facebook or Instagram? And there's plenty of bots. I mean, this is facts. And they start planting stories, right? And riling up people and getting Americans to hate other Americans that they've never met.
Yeah.
That honestly we have more in common with them. We don't. To fracture this country from the inside out.
That's what I think's happening.
And that's how you destroy the oldest democracy in the world. We're going to 250 years. I know it's a republic, but people use that term, they interchange. Because I'll say democracy. You don't know what you're talking about. You're an idiot. We're a republic. I know what the fuck we are. The republic for which it stands. I'm not an idiot.
Right.
You are, because it's interchangeable. It is different, but the difference really negligible. It doesn't matter for what we are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And you're absolutely right that they're destroying us without ever having to lift a weapon. They're from the inside out.
But why can't people see that? No, they're sheep. They go online. They parrot this shit. They fucking retweet it or retruth it. The fuck is that? You know, they repost it. They do all this shit. And they are working for China. They're working for Russia. Back in the day, Republicans and Reagan's Republicans, you were a pinko liberal commie. Kevin Downey Jr. loves to use that term, uses it on me. I'm a pinko liberal commie. Yeah, but I hate Russia. And Putin can fucking die. But they're Putin apologists. Trump loves Putin and they love Trump. Who's the commie now? No, tell me.
No, I think it's all a pendulum. Like somebody like Putin is convenient when it is on your side, so to speak.
He's never on our side.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying, like, if you can make a case in an argument, you'll take whoever you can. You'll pull in whoever you can to help you win that argument. And I'm with you though. I think that there's so much infighting amongst our country, and I believe people like you and I have way more in common than we have differences. If we broke that, yeah.
I just want to say this one thing: if you're an American and you got to agree with Putin to make your point, you don't have a point.
Right. And that's a good point. Yeah.
Thank you. No, you did
that. I don't know why I would have to see the context of he's talking about with Putin and all that stuff. And I think a lot of it has to do with the Ukraine war and the funding and all this kind of stuff. And there's a lot of shadiness going on look, I think the right wing and the left wing, it's the same, they're flying the same bird. So I don't know who to trust, who to believe. I try to that's why I like having the podcast, being able to talk to people, because that's sometimes how I figure it out, because you can't trust the government, whichever side it is.
Well, I get a little not nervous when people say that. I'll tell you why. So let me first say, I don't think we should we funded the war in Afghanistan. That turned into Mujahideen. Then you get Osama bin Laden out of that, and then you get 9/11. So they think you think you're doing good, but really you're creating future problems. Stay out of it. Keep the money here. Use it on vets. Use it to secure the border. Use it for all these things. We don't need to send millions. But at the same time, you want to promote democracy? Russia, a big country, invaded a smaller, freedom-loving country, and we want to step up and help defend? I say we have a role in the world to do that. We have a place to do that. But at the same time, we should come first, right? We should take care of our own.
The homeless, the border,
Yeah, our vets, everything, right? We should do that. And then when we can, we expand our reach outside of our borders. But let's get our own shit straight first. That's what I believe. Now, right wing, left wing, same bird, yes. When you say you don't know who to believe, I work with somebody who believes nothing, doesn't believe the government's any good, doesn't believe doctors are there to help, don't believe cops are there to keep the peace, but yet believes everything they read on Facebook. I read that. No.
Right,
he'll hit me with, I saw this, I can't believe this is happening. I'm like, but you believe it's happening? He goes, yeah. I said, but your doctor wants to kill you and the cops want to plant evidence on you and you can't believe the word the government says, but this random third party you never met says this is happening and you agree with them. You see where I'm getting at with this?
Yeah.
I get why conspiracy theories exist, but you have to have faith in something. If you really believe all those things, government's out to get you, doctors are in bed with pharmaceutical companies, some of them could be. Look, there's good cops and there's bad cops, right? But if you can't trust in any of those things, how do you get out of bed in the morning? No, how do you live?
Yeah, it gets difficult if you believe that there's no hope and that everything is rigged. It does get hard, and you start to you know. And I'm telling you, we talk about social media and Facebook and stuff like that, but you can get onto these rabbit holes of watching different things. And like for a little while, I was convinced we're living in a matrix.
Was that the red pill or the blue pill? I forget. No, but and actually the problem with this is the algorithm feeds you what you want. So 30 years ago, prior to Fox News, prior to social media, most people spoke with one another.
Right.
You didn't care about ideology. You didn't care about anything. You got your news from Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 5, at 5 o'clock, at 6 o'clock, at 10 o'clock, right? And you got all different kinds of, you got the news, you didn't get opinion. Then cable news, CNN comes out, Fox News, MSNBC. These aren't news channels. These are opinion channels. They're telling you their opinion on the news. They're not telling you the news. Then you got Facebook. So you are 24/7, constantly barraged with things that you agree with. You never, ever hear a consent or a dissenting opinion. You never do. You just start to believe that all liberals are trans, that we kill babies when they're born, that you start to believe these things, that there really is 20 million illegal immigrants that came over since Biden. Get the fuck out of here. It was 10 million on Monday. After 3.5 years, it's 20 million today. Wow, they've really stepped it up. Fucking, they're all track stars.
What are what do you think the stereotypes of a conservative is? It's the same thing. We're not all like gun-toting
right.
religious.
Gun-toting, redneck, toothless losers.
Right, yeah, and that's not true either.
No, it's not. But that, I'm not saying any of this.
Right, no, I'm following you.
What I'm saying is because we are in our own silos, we go to our phones and there's Facebook with ads and posts that are saying, oh, we're getting overrun with immigrants, or another white person shot up a black church, or this, or then you get home and you turn on the TV and you put on Fox or MSNBC and you get more of the same and more of the same. And you never, ever hear. Because throughout the day, what do you do?
I edit. I'm an editor, video editor.
Okay, so do you go on the road?
Sometimes. I'm mostly work from home though, yeah.
Okay, but when you travel, do you train, bus, plane?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But
okay. What are most people doing nowadays? Are they talking to the person next to them?
No, everyone's in their phone. Yep.
Or they're doing this. They are buried in their phone. And what are they doing? If they're not watching a movie, could be, they're on social media or they're watching news. And they're watching the things that they already agree with. Instead of talking to you, your neighbor, who may or may not agree with them on everything or anything.
Right.
And getting a different point of view. This is the problem.
It is.
Social media is the worst thing to ever have.
I agree totally.
And humanity.
I always say that.
I use it.
Yeah, we all use it because it's the devil. We all have the phone right next to us at all times.
But it literally is. It's taken away our humanity.
I agree, and I still say it all the time. I say I think that we're given a choice of how we want to be brainwashed. Do we want to go the right side, or do you want to go the left side? And then you choose. Let's just say it's MSNBC and Fox. You pick one, red pill, blue pill, whatever, and then you're off and running. And like you said, the algorithm will feed you that nonstop. Yeah.
There's two. So they say it is what it is, right? And sometimes it is what you make it. And we do have a choice, right? And I'm not going to say we're too far gone. I'm not giving up on this country. Listen, I don't block. I am friends with a lot of conservatives. I don't block the people I know. I block the people I don't know that we happen to become friends somehow on Facebook.
Right.
Some dumb shit. Then we argue. I'm like, fuck you, I don't need you. Click, I don't even know you.
Right, exactly.
I won't block people that I can't stand, the posts that they make. And I have had friends, not hangout friends, but like comedian friends, people I see.
Right, yeah.
Kind of regular. Post some anti-trans shit. I go at them. I've had some people take the post down, apologize to me in a message, saying, I'll think before I post more next time.
Yeah.
That's why I don't give up. Because people have to put a personal. Blakeman wrote an executive order banning trans women from playing on all girls teams at any county or facilities in Nassau. It got shot down by the Nassau Supreme Court. Then he has the legislature pass the law. In it, he says one of the reasons why he did it was 80% of Nassau residents agree with him. Dude, I live in America. 80% of Americans don't agree on jack shit.
That's true.
So you're telling me they agree on this non-issue? Get the fuck out of here. That drives me nuts.
And I think
that's why I stay on with these friends to fight that bullshit, because it's bullshit.
I think to your point too, I think that this issue obviously is sensationalized. It is the biggest issue that we've seen that kind of in years.
Because it's a wedge. And it's a good one.
It's a good wedge, and it divides people. But I think I think conversations like what we're having too, it when you know the people more on both sides,
put a face on.
Right? Yes. Then you start to see it differently.
What? Oh,
No, go. I was just no. Go ahead. You go.
one of the posts that a friend of mine, community friend, took down, I replied to it saying, when you're saying this, I forget the post about that person, you're saying it about me. Do you feel that way about me? You know me. Then the post came down with the apology. I am on a community advisory board. I don't want to say with who. And we talk about these issues that face trans people, LGBTQ people in general, and how that you can't. Science is great, and I think science is on our side, on the trans people side. I think it's on our side. But these people aren't making decisions on science. So you can't fight them with science. They're making it based on emotions. People are pushing their buttons and getting their emotions going. You have to get them back with emotions. You have to tug on their heartstrings, if you will. You have to put a face on it and a name to it and make them see that we're just like them. We're not vampires. We don't come out at night. You know, it's, I am like you minus the beard.
Right. Yeah.
You're a little cuter than me. I'll give you that. But you know, I wouldn't go with a beard anymore. But we are the same. We are made of the same parts. The same cells make us. So science is great, and again, science is on our side. But science didn't make them decide to want to make us outcasts. Because if they really thought about it and read about it, they wouldn't have done it. So that's not the way to get them back.
Right.
That's
yeah,
why
I think. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I think that I would like to see us, you know, like you said, be more unified and find a bridge, because I think there is a lot of divisiveness from both ends. You have that, you know, the right who doesn't maybe not understand and then has their things, and I don't like the memes and the things that go on that way. I don't like mean spirited, you know, hateful stuff. But it's on the other side too when they say we're coming for your kids, and I feel like they agitate, like they went do that march. You know, we're here, we're coming for your kids. You know,
here's where I start to feel like my friend at work. I don't know how much of what you see is true. Deep fakes, AI, it's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, you could have Obama doing an ad for the KKK and think it's him.
Right.
But if you had a brain, you know it wasn't. That's how crazy it is. But like the drag queen story out. You know what? The kids didn't drive themselves there. So if the parents don't
I
give
saw
a shit,
you posted that once. I saw it. Yes. I saw that one time.
So what do you care? And then you have Republicans. We're the party of parental rights. If your kid wants to be called a pronoun for a different gender in school, then you should know about it. Parental rights, parental rights, parental rights, right? You've heard that.
Right, yes.
Now the parent and the doctor and the child want to transition socially because they all believe it's in the best interest of that child. And now they've probably go, but you can't do that. If you're in Texas, they'll send CPS after you. Time out. I thought you were the party of parental rights. You're the government. You don't know me. You know my child. You know his doctor. Their doctor. Why are you making a decision about my child if it's my choice and their choice? Parental rights. It's only parental rights when you're agreeing with what they want. They're fucking hypocrites. Getting back to the other thing. It's all blown out of proportion. If you want to take your kid to drag queen story hour, have a fucking blast. Go have fun. Little Johnny likes it. Wonderful. I could give two shits. I really could. You got to ask yourself, why do you care? I didn't take your kid kicking and screaming. Tell me why you care. People need to mind their own fucking business.
I think the best point that you made with that, and I remember it was you, somebody wrote something about it and you responded on Facebook and you said just what you said now, is that they didn't drive themselves there. And I think that's the biggest thing of it all. That they were brought there by their parents, and their parents have to, you know, that's their decision, I assume, of their parental rights, and you know, if that's you know, what they want to do.
and it's harmless. We've been entertained by drag for centuries, right? Fucking Tootsie, you know what I mean? And it was all fun and games now, but now they made it a political issue, so now it's no good.
What's the difference between a drag queen and a trans woman? Is there a difference?
No, a drag queen. So look, the LGBTQ umbrella is huge, but just because you're a drag queen doesn't even mean you're in it. You can have straight guys that do drag, and they look really fucking good. I'm actually kind of mad sometimes when I see them. I'm like, you prick fuck. How you get to look like this, and I gotta look like whatever.
You look great.
Well, thank you, but you know, I joke around that before I transitioned, I had body dysmorphia because I didn't like my body. So I transitioned, I became a woman, and now I hate my body, but just for a different reason, because women are never satisfied. So it still sucks, but for a different reason. So I'm fucked either way. But what was I saying?
About the difference between drag queens.
Oh, right. So, yeah. So you have drag queens that are gay. You have drag queens that are straight. You have drag kings, which are the women who drag as men who are gay or straight. You have drag people, people who do drag, who then eventually come to find out that they happen to be trans. That's happened on RuPaul's Drag Race. Believe it or not, I've never seen one goddamn episode in my entire life. But because people think, oh, those are your people. You know, no, I mean, they're people and they're cool. I have no issue, but I'm not a drag queen. You know, there's transgender people, and then there's gender fluid people, and then there's straight people, and there's gay people, and, you know, it's all different. But at the end of the day, none of it matters, because as long as I'm not, I don't want to say rubbing in your face, because when some really sensitive people see an ad with a gay couple, you're shoving it in my face. No, I'm not. No, it's not. It's a commercial. And, you know, God forbid people out there get to see that they're represented in society. That's why when a teacher, there's this whole big thing about they're shoving gender identity down kids' throats. But then you have bills that a teacher can't even talk about it. But if a kid comes to the teacher and wants to talk about it, a teacher can't. What if that kid can't talk about it with their parent? Because they're going to get the shit beat out of them. Because that's the kind of parent they have. Hey, far be it from me, I'm not making this up. Plenty of good Christians throw their trans kids out when they find out they're trans. Not a very Christian thing to do. Liberal parents don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How do you hate your own child? You got people on death row whose parents still love them and go visit them after they murdered people. But you want to put on a skirt, Johnny, get the fuck out of my house. What's up with that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So none of it matters. None of it matters. People should know that you're not alone. Little kids should know. When I was a kid, you know when I found out I was trans? I came home from school one day. I was 11, 12, maybe. I kind of forget, but about that age. I come home. Do you remember Sally Jesse Raphael?
Yeah, great.
Do you remember Donahue?
Yeah, Phil Donahue. He was the best.
So I come home and he's on TV because my mom used to watch that shit. So it's like 3:30, and he's interviewing this woman. Her name is Caroline Cossi, also known as Tula. She was a Bond girl. So, and I don't know why, but I'm watching. I don't watch fucking Donahue. I'm 10, I'm 11. But I'm watching, and I'm just like intrigued by this woman. And she says that I think she used the term transvestite at the time, because I don't think transgender was really in the vernacular at that point.
Right. And
how that she was a man and she transitioned to a woman. And then I was like, that's it. Because I had played with makeup, women's clothes, girls' clothes, and in shame.
You felt the calling to it, like it was.
Yes, I did. I felt bad that I did. I felt horrible that I did. Like, what's wrong with me? Why do I feel this way? Yeah. You know, I'm like defective. And back then, no internet. You were alone. Chris Rock made a joke. He says, your little cousin was gay back then. He just didn't have anybody to be gay with.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's
You're
the
all
fun.
going through this
It's true.
alone. You probably couldn't tell your friends. You couldn't. Who do you tell?
In 5th grade, my mother got me the peculiar purple pie man of Porcupine Peak costume for Halloween from Strawberry Shortcake. A male figure, mind you. I got made more fun of than my friend Richie, who is in a royal blue dress, who looked amazing, by the way. I got my balls broke more than he did in drag. Get the right. This is some fucked up shit. It's a true story. So I didn't know what that was. I couldn't put it. I just knew I liked that stuff, and I knew that I shouldn't. So imagine how I felt. Seriously.
Yeah.
I felt like crap. I felt like something was wrong with me. And then when she said that, I took the bus to the mall to like Walden Books, and I ordered a book. And I read it cover to cover. When it came in, I'd order it. Right.
What book? Like
yeah, it was called My Story, I believe.
Okay.
She wrote a book. Yeah, so I read that
book.
book.
Tula wrote
yeah,
a book?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I read that book cover to cover about her whole story growing up in England, how she got a job in like a review and then saved up money for surgery. I mean, really inspiring to someone like me to know that there was a path for me.
Right.
I'm not going to cry. But there was a path for someone like me. And I wasn't. And no child should feel like that. They should know that it's okay. I'm not saying people should be trans. Nobody's trying to convert their children. We're not coming for your kids. We're saying that it's okay if you are.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's heavy stuff. And especially back then, like you said, there's no internet, nobody to kind of turn to. And I'm glad you found that book. It felt like it was kismet, like it was meant to be.
Yeah, it was. And that's why. That's why when people say you shouldn't talk about it in school, I'm like, they shouldn't harp on it in school. But kids need to know that there's all different kinds of people. It is a fact of life. It is the world we live in. They're going to meet people that are different from them eventually. So I'm not saying that they should be breaking out. Dude, I had sex ed in 6th grade, seventh grade, 6th or 7th grade, middle school.
Right.
They were talking about the reproductive system and all that. We were talking about it 2nd, 3rd grade. And really, to be honest, not really appropriate conversation to have with a child at that age either. Agree with that. But when you're talking, if the subject comes up, it should be able to be discussed. Like, yeah, there are people like that out there. Maybe talk to your parents about it, but it shouldn't be we can never talk about these things. Because kids should know that if they're different, they're okay too.
Right. I agree. I agree. But there is like, it gets a little, do you think that because like there might be kids that feel like they're misfit, or they're not part of the in crowd or whatever, and they might go through a phase?
So right now there's a woman named Chloe Cole, I believe her name. She's a detransitioner. That's a big word in the right-wing circles. And she transitioned female to male when she was younger. And it wasn't for her, so she went back to female. And she's loving life. Good for you. I'm happy for you. I'm glad that you finally are at peace with who you are. That doesn't mean it's the same for everybody else. So what conservatives and some liberals like to do is they latch on to an outlier. They latch on to this one example, and they say, this is a reason why it's so bad. The rate of displeasure with transitioning is so fucking low. It's not even funny. But do some people have regrets? You pull enough data, you can find anything you want.
Right. If you're looking for something, you'll find it. Right.
Everything's a goddamn statistic eventually. Even if it's one person out of a million. Statistic, one out of a million. The overall satisfaction rates of people who transition are astronomically high. Yet think about it. Most times when you go to a doctor and you say, this is wrong, they say, okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna stop that from happening. Not the case here. It's the opposite. You need to be you. It's encouraged because this is who you are. And I do firmly believe that, and I'm gonna go with the trans thing here. If you're not trans, you don't really get it. I've been told, what kind of man wants to cut off his dick? Oh, I'm not a man. Well, I don't understand. I don't expect you to. Because you wake up every day, like you personally, I'm assuming. You wake up every day knowing who you are, how you feel about yourself, that you're a man, and this is you. And you don't even question that.
Right.
So how could you possibly understand? Maybe you could. Maybe at least sympathize or have some empathy. I'll go, maybe I don't understand what you're going through, but I get it must be difficult. But you do you, right? Imagine now waking up every day and saying, this is not me. This is not my body. I can't stand what I see in the mirror. How do you think you'd feel? Knowing something so basic, just who you are, is wrong in your head, in your heart. Imagine living with that. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. And honestly, and I probably shouldn't say this, I wish I wasn't trans. I wish I didn't feel this way. I was happily married to the love of my life. She's still the love of my life, who I have a kid with.
Wow.
And I'm not with her because of who I am. And that pull is so strong, who I am, that I have to be me. And I had to give that up. Give her up to be me. And if I had a choice, if there was a choice, I would choose this. I wouldn't choose this. This is not fun. I love who I am. I live life. I enjoy my life. But I'm missing out on the best thing ever that happened to me.
Yep.
To be who I am. So trust me when I tell you, there's no choice in the matter. And I'd rather not have been born like this. I don't want any sympathy or pity. I'm being truthful with you.
No, and wow, I appreciate that, and it's a powerful story, and yeah, I could never know how you feel. I know that I've had my trials and tribulations in my life of who I am and things like that, but when it's something that's that deeply who you are, your sex of when you feel like you are not in the right body, and to feel that way so strongly, and to want to be who you really are at all costs, that says a ton. And I I don't I'm not gonna say I feel sorry for you, because I think you're a strong person, but I feel a connection to you for that. And I feel strong feelings like for you, that I want you to be your best self. And I wish that the world could be perfect for all of us. And yeah, I having children and wife and this love of your life, and to walk away, I don't know if you walk away from them, or if they're still in your world or not.
I see my son every week. I see my ex-wife and her new husband, who happens to actually be a really great guy. We were all talking together actually this past Sunday for like an hour, just the three of us, like friends, because I'm not an asshole. At first she was angry, understandably so. I totally get that. But over time she realized I'm doing it on purpose. So I'm actually friends with her and her husband,
Yeah.
who's a great guy. So yeah, this goes back to the beginning, that we have much more in common than we don't. Because we all want to be loved. We all want to live our lives and be happy and just be okay, and so
What do you hear?
I heard like voices.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah,
or maybe I just found out I'm crazy and I was psychotic break right now.
That's in the other room. I think there's a voice coming in the other room. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so that we all want that. You go ask a million people on both sides of the ideological spectrum. Do you want to be happy? Do you want to be okay? You want to live your life? You want other people to be happy in their lives? And I guarantee you, everybody's going to say yes. Might be one prick out there, who knows? But almost everybody's going to say yes. But they don't practice what they preach, do they?
No, not all the time. Like you said, to your example of the parents that would abandon their child if they come out. Yeah, I think, I think the world is it's not easy. And yeah, I mean, but I'm just, what I think I think the word brave gets used a lot, but I do think it's brave in a way of to face it head on, and to take control of your life, and I think that's what you're doing. You're taking control of who you are, and you're being who you are, and you seem happy. And I watched your comedy set the other day, the FunnyBone that was on the Instagram.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome set. So I feel like you're finding your footing, and you're happy with who you are. Is that?
I had a couple of low spots after transitioning towards the beginning. But I went back to school carrying a 4.0 GPA over the past 4 semesters. Comedy, I lost like 90 pounds in the past 2 years. Work is good. I'm literally 48 years old, and it's like my second win. Like I'm like firing on all cylinders in life. It's actually amazing, and I'm doing really good. And yeah, the brave thing. People said that a lot at the beginning, and I said no. I'm just being myself. What's brave about that? And I don't know. I still think for myself, brave is a stretch because I'm just living my life. But if you want to put it in the context of the world that we live in and the society that we engage with, to be yourself, because there are a lot of people that can't do it, I guess is kind of brave. Because I could have very well stayed in the closet, I guess. I couldn't. Because I could, I would have. Because I'm like, I love. But so I guess I would agree with you. But then sometimes if some third party will goes, "You're not brave, tranny. What that person is brave. A veteran is brave. Yes, a veteran is very brave on an entirely different level. You know what I mean? Entirely different level.
Right. Yes.
They're not mutually exclusive. You know what I mean? He's brave for a totally different reason. Or she's brave. I'm brave because, honestly, in the environment that we live in, being out and trans, is dangerous in the wrong places, around the wrong people. Facts. That doesn't mean I'm going to strap a fucking gun to my arm and go off to fucking Afghanistan. No. They're super brave. I'm kind of brave. I'm brave-ish. You know what I
mean? Do you run into hostility ever? Like, if you're on a stand-up show or just in your regular day-to-day life?
No. At the beginning, there was a couple of incidences, but lately, no.
I feel like for the most part, people are accepting, and especially in this time period, and I think everybody is accepting, for the most part. Maybe when they get on, like to your earlier point, if you get on Facebook and the memes start going out, or somebody like Dylan Mulvaney lights their fire, then it's a whole different
over a case of beer. Anyway, so in person, I would probably say it this way. In person, everybody's generally cordial, respectful, nice, even friendly. It's when too many keyboard warriors.
Yes.
that when they're behind the keyboard, fucking transgender agenda movement. I read Project 2025, all 900 pages. They mentioned the word transgender 13 or 14 times. I did this a few weeks ago, forgive me. And most times after the word transgender, it was agenda, extremists, pedophilia. Yeah. So I know how, as a group, conservatives feel. Not everyone, obviously.
Right.
But on the whole, the ones that want to actually enact laws, and affect my life, I know how they feel about people like me. And getting back to the earlier conversation, that's why I could never vote for Trump or anybody that talked better than him, that espoused the same beliefs. Why would I vote against my own existence? Money isn't everything. I want a good economy too. I'm in retail.
Right.
But I'm not going to vote against my existence ever.
Do you fear that if, let's just say, Trump does win, that would be the end of the trans movement? Like it just will die there? Or don't you think that
I honestly believe that trans people will go stealth, some people, or never come out. I believe healthcare will become a major issue in a lot of the country. Luckily, I'm in New York, so maybe it wouldn't affect me as much. But if I travel in parts of the country, it could. I do feel that if Republicans gain control of the chambers, House, Senate, and if they gain enough control to pass laws, they will start with identity politics and start restricting transgender rights. I really do believe that. And a lot of people like me believe that too. And it's hard to argue that they won't when they say it every day and they put it on paper. So, yes, I believe them getting in would end the movement as we know it. In fact, if you think about it, we've gone backwards with civil liberties and civil rights. We've made a hell of a lot of progress in the past 30, 40, 50 years. And we've lost 20, 30, 40% of it in the past 5 to 10.
Yeah, I think it's because it's been used to, like, to your earlier point about the infighting from the inside out. The race and sex has been a huge force in pinning people against each other over that kind of ideology, and they kind of feed into the race stuff, and they feed into the
it's not racism, it's sexism, or it's religion, or there are probably, I'll just say numerous. There are numerous ways to divide us, right? Numerous.
Yeah.
Right? And, 30 years ago, if you talked politics, it was really a non-issue. Yeah, I didn't agree with you, but, look, I don't care who you vote for, just go vote, right? That's
right.
How I believe. Be an American, exercise your fucking right, and go vote. That's the most American thing you can do, right? Is go vote for who you think is going to best lead this country. For me, that's not Trump. For you, it might be. I don't care. Go vote. I'm not telling you how to vote, but I'm telling you to vote.
Right. Yep.
To vote. But Republicans want to restrict votes. Oh, yeah. Democrats want illegals in the country votes. Non-citizens don't vote. They can't vote. Well, you should have an ID to vote. Okay, that argument kind of does make a little bit of sense, right? But who are you to deny an actual American, ID or not, their God-given right as an American to cast a ballot? Who are you to do that?
Right.
All these laws, closing polling places, closing ballot box, all these things are meant to restrict the amount of votes come in, and they primarily affect lower income communities and communities of color. Actual facts. And these people tend to vote Democrat. Right? When they contested the election results in Michigan, right?
Yeah.
They only contested Wayne County, fucking Detroit, because it's primarily Democrat. But so the rest of Michigan, there was no fraud there. All those white people, they voted right. But these black people, they're lying. That's the method of thinking. Somebody's going to cut that and take out of context and make people believe I said that shit. That's going to happen, right?
I hope not. I won't do that to you.
Well, I know you won't, but somebody will. But yeah, like you can't. Who says it best? You can't only love your country when you win.
That's a great point. Yeah, Bill Maher said that.
Yeah, you can't only love your country when you win, and when you lose, you didn't always get cheated. Nobody stole the election in 2020. I saw videos. How do you know what you saw was true? You don't know. You believe it because you saw it online. But yet, time and again, they won 0 lawsuits. They won 0. Fox News pays $757 billion. $1 million, sorry, because they lied. They have texts between the people, Tucker, Laura Ingraham, all of them, saying this Trump guy's a lunatic. But they want ratings. They did it for ratings. Bill Barr, people in his administration all said the election was legit, but yet he's still crying it wasn't. When are people going to realize?
That's the one thing about Trump. I wish he would just let that go for now and focus.
Can't let it. It's like a pussy. You can't let it go.
You got to keep grabbing it.
Right? You can't let that shit go. And dude, it's over. Look, I didn't like it when he won, but he was the president. I didn't want him to fail because if the president fails, the country fails. So I didn't like him, but I was like, all right. And I still don't like him as a person. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. But I didn't want him to fail. So then Biden gets in. Okay, great. He's not the greatest. And whoever wins the next one, okay. But some of the things he says, like recently when he told a whole bunch of Christians at Turning Point's event, Christians, just come out, vote this one time, and you won't vote ever again. We're going to fix it. It's going to be so good. I can't do that for you.
That was a pretty decent impression.
Thank you. It's going to be amazing. Right? So, but who says that? And any normal American could say that. But when you're running to be the leader of the free world, you don't tell people you'll never have to vote again.
Right.
This is not something you say. You know what I mean? It just doesn't sound good in any context. So, I want to be a dictator just for, they say on day one, he said for one day. That's what he actually said. This actual video,
right,
in an interview with an actual interviewer that we know to exist, and no, it's fake news. No, the motherfucker said it. Things like that scare me. They actually scare me because we're in 2026. We're gonna have 250 years of this wonderful country.
Yeah,
the American experiment, right? 250 years.
That's crazy.
If he doesn't blow it to shit first.
Well, yeah, I worry about either of them getting in because the time we had the 4 years with Trump, it was they were on him constantly, and I think I don't know when it all started, but it's been divisive from the beginning, and I don't think either side is innocent in this thing.
I think it started with Obama.
Yeah, and I don't know if there is a clear, this is the good guys, these are the bad guys. I don't know if that's clear. I think, and that's where we get it wrong as people, as the citizens, as the American. We get it wrong thinking these are the good guys, these are the bad guys. I think we're all mixed. There's good guys and bad guys amongst us all.
You're right. I could vote Republican if there was a Republican out there that had a brain. No, let me finish my thought. If there's a Republican out there that just wanted to talk politics, I want to secure the border. I want to keep more money in the country, and we still are going to fund other countries fighting for democracy because that's what we do. But let's take care of our vets and not talk about fucking what people want to do with their lives. No, like if you could do that, because listen, Democrats spend money like it's water, but Republicans do too, right? And if you are all the way left, all the way right, you're a fucking crazy person. I'm a centrist, right? We need more centrists. Yes. If you're a centrist, you get ostracized and you get kicked out of Washington. You either got to be in this clique with act like fucking Mean Girls on steroids.
So, that's true.
Yeah, Republicans, you can't say with us. Democrats, you can't say with us. But they don't wear pink on Wednesdays. It's so weird. Anyway, so I could vote for Republican because some of the beliefs are fine. I just can't get with a party that constantly needs to fucking get in people's personal lives. Roe versus Wade, law of the land, 50 years. If you don't want an abortion, don't get one. If you don't like gay marriage, don't go to a gay wedding. If you don't like gay people, stop having gay kids. Because they're born that way. You know what I'm saying? They're born that way.
Right, exactly.
So, that's what I'm saying. That's straight
people. You
can't
control that, right?
Exactly. So we just that has to stop. If we can stop that, if we can stop the identity politics, look, we can survive bad policy. We've done it before. We've had presidents who made bad decisions, and Congress, and we have bad decisions, and we survived. We've had good times, depression, recession. Bad times. And then you have good times, right? We've had all those things, and we've come through it. You can't survive somebody who doesn't believe in this country's ideals about freedom. Like this whole, you should kneel for the flag. This is America. You can do whatever you want. I stand. I put my hand over my heart. I stand. But if you don't want to, that's fine, because that's your right to do so. Should you burn a flag? I don't think so. But you have every right to do so, because we don't live in a country where you get murdered for doing it,
right,
or thrown in jail. Because the people, the veterans who fought for us, fought for those ideals. And you have some vets saying, I fought so they could do that. And you have some vets that say they shouldn't do that. It's all opinion. But when you start telling people you can't do that, who are you?
No, I agree. And you know, I think both sides have similar arguments. You know what I'm saying? So, and I I think so you could, the right will say, oh, well, we have to obey these set of rules, and the left is like, we have to obey these set of rules, and nobody likes to have rights taken away from them on any side. So it's so, man, these political seasons are so crazy.
I know.
And and they seem so polarizing. And I just hope, like, that people start to come around a little bit more, and we start to see the writing on the wall, that sometimes we are possibly deliberately being divided. And we have to look, I was saying this to somebody the other day, we have to start figuring out the things that we have in common, and the things that are like the positive things that we have in common, and focus more on that and less on what we have, the differences. Because when we put these differences and escalate them so big, like no one is going to change who you are. You are who you are. And you decided who you are, and I commend you for that. And so no one's ever going to change who you are. So they shouldn't try to force that on you, and they shouldn't try to force me to change who I am. I think once we get to a place that we're all the same, I think we'll be better off. But the hard part is getting through to your other point of constantly being on the phone, constantly getting the algorithm, of getting past that.
That's how we get past it. People need to, I hate to say this because you still want people to watch the show, but we need to watch less stuff on social media and get out and engage with our neighbors and our friends, and go out and do stuff. There's too much isolation, too much fucking technology, bro. And I love technology. I do. I play video games sometimes. I like my iPad. I love technology, but there's a place for it, right? Use it for what it's intended for: your schoolwork, entertainment,
right?
But not actual interaction with other people. have actual physical interaction with other people.
Yeah.
And then you'll see that that person that you would have hated on Facebook, you actually kind of like.
Exactly. Emily, this has been a great conversation. I'm so glad that we had this, and it's so awesome. We have to get you on more often.
Sorry about the language. I curse.
No, no, it's fine. And if you ever, no, you were great.
I enjoyed talking to you.
Yeah,
this is very good.
This was awesome. We have to do this more often, and and if on Tuesday or Thursday, if you ever have this, see you next Tuesday, I'll come on whenever you want.
Yeah, I'll talk to Carla and Kathy. We should have you on.
No,
we don't really do a lot of guests, so when we do it, it's like a special event. No red carpet or anything. Don't get too crazy.
Well, hopefully you bring the cake. We have, we'll have
I love cake. Oh, I'm down. Yeah.
Well, you're the best, Emily. Tell everybody where they could find you and follow. I know you got some shows coming up.
I have a website, emilycomedian.com, which I updated because I'm really bad at that. So this Saturday, I'll be in Jersey City at the Broadway Comedy Club for the 6:30 and 9 p.m. show. I'll also be there on August 24th. And August 10th, I will be in the Giggle Room with Chris Roach. And Governor's Levittown Giggle Room, 8 o'clock show. And he's amazing. He's really funny. So I'll be there. And you'll see me on See You Next Tuesday, every Tuesday at 8:30 on Strong Island Television. And who knows, you might just randomly bump into me on the street somewhere. I mean, it's possible.
Well, you're the best. I appreciate this. This was one of the best DONversations I've had. So thank you. Thank you so much. Awesome. You're the best. Emily Santosus, everybody.